Hello, welcome to Beyond the Blueprint with dubizzle Property, the place where we talk everything real estate in the UAE. This week, I'm very happy to be joined by my special guest, a visionary entrepreneur currently leading his team through the highly competitive off-plan segment, Mr. Rashed Ahmadyar of Ahmadyar Developments. Rashed, really happy to see you here.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing? How's business?
Everything is so good so far.
Yeah? How has the summer been? It's been an interesting summer, I think a very quiet one in August.
Yeah.
Busy the rest of the time. Did you sort of see that as well?
Yes. As I've seen from the reports, this summer was different from the years prior. There was more engagement and there was more transactions happening in the real estate market compared to previous years. So, of course, in this kind of market where there's too much competition, it's usually the big developers which usually have a lot of transactions happening in the market rather than the small scale or mid scale developers. Yeah. We have seen a lot of progress so far. The market is still booming. Dubai real estate is still picking up, even though a lot of people, especially in the Western countries, believe that the market is going to eventually go down and it's not going to be staying the same. But from what we have seen so far, especially with the kind of policies that the leadership here are coming up with, and the economic incentives and development programs which they are launching these days, I think the market is going to be way, way higher in the coming years.
No, I think you're right. I think you hit on a few key points there. I think the way, especially Dubai, has changed a lot. The market has gone mad over especially the last 18 months, especially in the off-plan segment. Yeah. I think that the first Q2 this year saw almost 65% of transactions that happened was just in off-plan. Yeah. It obviously brings me onto my main point of you guys have just launched your new development, Palatium Residences.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. What does it look like? How many bedrooms? Is it just apartments or is there a mix of things?
So the main reason why I want to explain why we joined the real estate market here in Dubai. We come from Afghanistan. We are a large corporation based in Afghanistan. Our group name is Ahmadyar Group, and we are mainly into fuel and gas, into aviation fuel, lubricants, construction, and real estate development. We have done around 5 projects in Afghanistan, mainly residential. We also have our own brand of petrol stations all over the country, and we are the largest distributor and supplier of petroleum products in the country. So we had been focusing mainly in Afghanistan for almost 2 decades.
Okay.
But post 2021, when we saw that there's a huge boom happening in Dubai especially. So we wanted to use our experience and knowledge, which we have especially in the construction and development field, and we wanted to capitalize based on opportunities here in Dubai. So we plan to establish our real estate development company in Dubai. And we started looking at different points and different elements that are very important, critical in the market. And we started searching for the areas which have the highest transaction and high demand in terms of from the investors. And we met a lot of developers here in Dubai who are close to us, and we have a great network, a vast network of connection with these businessmen, especially developers in Dubai, and we met with most of them, and we got to know their strategies, and they shared a bit of their experiences, and that's why we got to know that JVC is the most demanded area.
Sure.
And there's huge transaction happening in past few years, and this is the best opportunity to enter into market. And we didn't want to introduce a high-rise because we wanted to know the taste and preferences of people here in Dubai, especially the investors. So we want to see what are the most attractive elements that attract investors. Yeah. So that's why we came up with mid-rise. Our project includes 147 unit apartments and 4 retails. We have studios, 1 BHK, 2 BHK, and 3 BHK. We have a variety of options in terms of sizes and pricing based on the floors and based on the number of units that.
Sure. So you're really going for that sort of middle segment, middle to almost luxury segment, with especially with the sizing as well.
Yeah.
Being in JVC, as you said, JVC is the king at the moment of transactions. I think they've been number one for the last 4 quarters of transactions. I think they did almost 3 billion AED just in Q2 this year, which is a phenomenal figure for an area that transacts like that. So I guess, I understand why you guys really jumped on that, especially with your first project. If I was a consumer, if I'm looking to probably invest in the off-plan market here, what sets you guys apart? What's different? What is your USP as such? Why would I buy, especially this development, Palatium Residences? Why would I come and buy that one instead of some of the other ones?
When we wanted to come up with this project, we sat down with our research and development team, and we investigated in the market what are the most attractive and important elements for the investors. And we got to know that in terms of spaces, the sizes and the units that you can get currently in the market are far smaller than what investors and end users would seek. So that's what we really strategized based on. Based on that, we tried to come up with the apartments, which are 20 to 25% more spacious than current.
That is a big thing. That you hit the nail on the head. I think that is a big thing. Everyone I speak to at the moment, it seems a lot of older stuff in Dubai is bigger.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of the new stuff coming online is a lot smaller. Sure. I think there's things like the luxury side. The build quality is certainly improved. I think in the last few years, which was great. But so essentially, you're looking to add sort of that size element as well.
Yeah. So 2 main things that we are presenting in this project is, as I said, sizes. We are 20 to 25% on average. We have bigger sizes than any other product in the market. Plus our mid-luxury segment. Okay. So the quality of work which we are going to have is going to be very good and mid-luxury. Yeah. So it's going to have a very beautiful swimming pool, a state-of-the-art gym, and also have all different sort of amenities that are requirements of a building. And the location that we have is very, very prominent. Where
is that?
Because it is just next to the JVC 5 hotel.
Okay. It's very central.
Yeah, very central. It is next to the 5 hotel. Yeah. And it's a corner plot, and we have 3 facade open views. Right. We are just 2 minutes away from the park, nearby park, and it's 2 minutes away from the shopping center or these shops that are basic necessities for every resident, and it is just next to the circle.
Yeah, I think those amenities I think they're getting more important for people living here, right? I know we were speaking about it a little bit earlier, but people are moving to Dubai for different reasons now. People aren't just coming here to work, they're coming here to either move their families, they're coming here to live for the foreseeable future. I think the government have made proof of that and put certain things, especially with the way the visas work and everything like that now. So amenities are absolutely key. I think if you have, especially in the mid-luxury segment, if you have a good property in a nice area where there's green, where there's amenities, you have your mall, you have everything around you, that's a massive advantage over areas that are either a bit further out or even other areas maybe in JVC where they're not close to those things. JVC traffic isn't the best at the moment, especially. So if you aren't around those immediately, fantastic.
Yeah. This is the main thing that I think one of the main reasons why people really choose JVC is because especially for investors, since the new introduction of new policies by the leadership and moving Dubai towards Dubai South with the new Dubai International Airport, which is going to be developed in the course of a few years, lots of investors prefer proximity to the new airport, which is a very key advantage that investors see, that there's going to be huge growth for near future. And JVC's location is very, very important since it's very developed. As we had previous talks, one of the main thing in a community when investors or end users they check, the customers they look at how far the community has been developed. 100%. So JVC is quite developed community. They have the malls, they have the shopping centers, they have everything at a footstep. They have schools and everything. It's a very well design community. And it's in a proximity to Dubai Marina, it's a proximity to near Dubai International Airport. So this is a safe haven for the investors.
Sure. On that note, the word
Yeah.
investor obviously come up again. The key thing, especially in Dubai, has always been investment. It's always been a hub for investors, I think, from across the world, even more so now, as we can see from the market. I'm an investor, I'm investing in your development. What sort of ROI should I be looking for? What do you think it should be expected in the coming time?
In terms of ROI or even sales, which I wanted to mention, very key elements for the sales and ROI is like, especially the location, the quality of work, and also in terms of the availability of apartments. So if you're in a very high-rise tower, which has 400, 500 units, so at certain point of time, you can have a diverse number of available units. But for us, first of all, we're a mid-rise project, so we have only 147 unit apartments. So at any one point of time, you would not have many apartments available for sale or for rent. And the quality that we are going to have, it's mid-luxury, so it's very attractive for anyone who wants to reside there. And the location which we have is directly next to the center. It is next to the 5 Hotel and very premium location. So these key elements really makes it high return for the investors. So we can expect, based on our analysis, 8 to 9% net ROI yearly once the project is completed.
I'm sure investors will love you when that comes around and starts handing over.
100%. I think you asked me why us? Why would anyone choose us? It's because what in our team, what we believe in is to think as an investor, as a person who's going to purchase the product. So whatever, since it's off-plan, you always know that it can be a bit less transparent sometimes. People can show certain quality, but at the end, they are not offering that. But once the project is complete, that is going to be the product based on which you're going to be evaluated. So we don't want to compromise on that.
Of course.
And we want to deliver very high quality and the promises that we are making, we want to deliver on that because we are here to very much establish ourselves as one of the leading developers in next decade or so.
And the competition's high, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously an enormous amount of developers here for good reason. I think to really put yourself at the forefront of that, to make sure that your quality's good, as you say, will put you in good stead going forward from the next project to the next project to the next project.
100%.
Be it this being your first one in the region as well, especially. Sounds very promising. You've got the location right from the sounds of it and all the calculations, so it'll be exciting. What do you think's next? What do you think's after this one starts to hand over?
So we just launched our first project over a month ago. We have seen very good response from the investors, and the ambitions and the target which we had, we are very much seeking that, and we are actually achieving those targets. And that's why we saw that what we had envisaged and what we had actually hoped for is actually really materializing. So we're working on a new project. So I wouldn't disclose the location, but we are almost going to close the deal in a very premium community in Dubai. So we are intending to have our second project by February to April next year.
Okay, exciting.
So that's what we're working on because we don't want to compromise in location or in terms of the quality and these elements that I have explained so far. That's why we are waiting. We want to take some time, but we want to come up with a very banger project, which will increase our portfolio of projects here, as well as attract a lot of investors.
So is that the general ongoing plan going forward in the next couple of years? Then you're going to look to jump into different communities, different sub-communities, are you just really concentrating on one or two? 'Cause
No,
obviously
no,
Dubai's getting
no.
bigger.
For sure, we're always going to explore.
Yeah.
We are very much flexible to change. So we will see based on the demand, based on the requirements of the investors and the customers. We're gonna have our own analysis, and based on that, we're going to take decisions. So we are not going to be limited to one or few communities, but we are aiming for all over Dubai and different communities that exist here.
Okay. You jumped on obviously the new airport, which I think is important to touch on, which was released a couple of months ago now. Obviously now Maktoum to Dubai South area. Are you looking at that area at the moment, particularly to jump into? I think there was a lot of hype around it, especially with that airport coming online in a few years' time. Is that an area that you think will continue to grow? How do you think that
For
will?
us, since we are a new developer, so since we want to really establish ourselves in Dubai, so our plan the next 5 years is to actually go with the very premium locations and very highly demanded communities, since it will attract more customers and investors for us. It is easier for a giant like Emaar and these developers to build communities in Dubai South, and actually because they have their own set of clientele and customers over the course of years that they have established here in South Dubai. For us, since we want to establish ourselves, we have to come with a very unique and a very elegant projects, very modern and very and well-established communities, so that we can have that sort of commitment from our customers that they will be very much always investing with us and they will go forth with us.
No, I think with the first one in place already, and you said sounds like it's going well, which is good, and you're focused on quality. That only has to go one way, right? If someone buys off you and they receive that quality, good ROI, then why won't they follow you?
100%.
On just in Dubai in a nutshell, this is something I like to have conversations with anyone I meet in real estate, especially. Where do you think the market is going in the next 1-2 years? It's as we've spoken about, the market has got to, I don't want to say peak, because who knows where the real peak is, but its price per square foot across the country is high as it's ever been.
Yeah.
You have one side of the table saying, oh, it's going to come down soon. You've got the other side of the table saying the opposite. How would it come down? Obviously, there's so much a population boom. It's continuing to grow. The government want it to continue to grow. They're putting these things. Realistically, in the next year, 18 months, where do you see it sort of going forward, especially with what's going on in Europe as well at the moment?
I think one of the main, I always tell to all of my friends and investors who I meet, I always suggest them that, Dubai is still, Dubai is still like a baby, and there's a huge way forward. And one of the most important elements in Dubai is their leadership. They have always delivered on the promises that they have made. They have always achieved the impossible. And if you see the projects that Dubai did over the course of 2 decades, it was considered an impossible project. Having a man-made island such as the Palm and having the tallest tower in the world, and these were the pinnacles of development in the world, but they have achieved that. With the new Dubai vision, which they have for 2050, the leadership wants to increase the population, almost double the population. They want to, enlarge the city. They want to move towards the Dubai South. They are starting the construction of the new the development of new international airport. So for an investor, this shows that if there's population growth, if there are new projects and developments happening there, so this is the best hub, and this is the most premium area for any investor around the world to really invest in. Plus, with the political scenarios and the economic recessions that's happening around the world, due to different various reasons, and also in terms of the taxes which they are paying and the benefits that they are not really getting, the Dubai government have really provided everything to the people that reside here. So if you can have the best medical facilities, you can have the best education in this country, and they're working on that in order to further enhance it. So if anyone can afford to live in Dubai and invest here and to live here, they would very much gladly come here and invest. Because for me, as I told you earlier, I've lived in different countries and different cities around the world. I've lived here in Dubai, Istanbul, London, but the comfort and the vibe that Dubai gives, actually the home vibe that Dubai gives, I've never felt anywhere in the world.
Sure.
And in terms of the facilities and the services that are here are world standard, and it's nowhere to be seen around the world.
I think you hit a few points there. First one is tax.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why people invested in Dubai, and have for a long time, right? The way that Europe's going, especially at the moment, there's all sorts of changes going on. For example, in the UK, there's a new government in recent times. They're already looking at sort of different ways of taxing income, but predominantly on capital gains tax on estates. So if you sell your house, you're going to get hit, right? I think a lot of people are looking at this part of the world, in Dubai especially, for, okay, where's something really developing? Where's someone whose government is showing that it's safe to put out money and wants it to grow properly? It's not a bad place to be either, right? I know we were talking about it earlier. I know you spent time in London, which is originally my hometown, and the lifestyle you get here, if you get it right, you want to bring your money here, you want to invest here, you want to grow things here, as we said earlier. It's not as transient as it used to be. Just touching back onto that investment side, off-plan, I think the biggest advantage to it compared to your secondary is, with secondary, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go in with a mortgage. You're going to go with interest coming on your payment of your house. Off-plan works slightly different, obviously, with your payment plans. How do you guys work your payment plans in terms of your first development?
For now, our payment plan is 60/40.
Okay.
So
that's 60% before it all hands over,
20%
right?
down payment.
Okay.
40% during construction.
Yeah.
And 40% upon handover.
Okay.
So that is the payment plan that we are following currently. But with the coming projects, we might have flexibilities, and we might introduce new sort of payment plans that we are working on.
Yeah.
For current project, the Palatium Residences, we are going with the standard 60/40 payment plan.
Okay. When are you expecting that to be ready, Palatium?
We are expecting it to be ready by April 2026.
Okay. So it's not too long away, although
Not too long away, no.
2 years?
That is why, as I had explained earlier, we want to go with mid-rise, because one of the unique features of mid-rise is that the projects get completed way faster than going high-rise. So, and also it is, in terms of construction, it is cheaper. In terms of the different aspects of construction techniques, it's more easier and more facilitated. So that's why we want to target mid-rise. We want to build the projects faster, deliver it faster, and move on to the next one. Because we don't want to get stuck with one.
Makes sense. I think coming into 2026 is obviously, there's quite a lot being handed over by then, especially end of 2025 as well in JVC, going into 2026. I know there's a lot of developers expected to hand over. Then we have some other ones here as well near our offices. Where do you think that positions the market then, especially for somewhere like JVC, which at the moment is very up and coming, highly transacted? By then, as you said, yourselves will be handing over, and I think a lot of other developers. Where does that position it as an area, do you think, in terms of why would investors still be there, or they look other places? Is that part of
actually as I believe, I told you earlier that JVC is a very well established community, and it's developed. There's the extent of development in JVC has reached its maximum limits. So there are very few plots available for development. That's why a lot of developers are now moving away from JVC. Most of the developers I've seen that are moving towards Dubai Island, as they see it as a next established community and very attractive for the investors. Some are moving towards Dubai South, and some are actually moving towards Dubai Land. So it is not going to be just limited to JVC, as the community is going to be almost built, and then most of the developers are currently trying to purchase plots in different areas and locations all over Dubai.
Sure, I'd be interested. Last thing I really want to touch on, when I was really looking into, as you said, your business, It's a family business. It's been running for a very long time now. You're in all sorts of industries, which is very interesting from that point. Anyway, your foundation, the Ahmadyar Foundation, that I was looking into. Tell us a little bit about that. What you're doing with that at the moment? Because it's not something we see too much here.
The foundation was established around 15 years ago in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Since we had been able to establish ourselves in the country,
Yeah.
we had been able to expand and enlarge the business over there. We believe that it was our duty to give back to the community, and especially in a country such as Afghanistan, where the poverty is on high levels. So we believe that it's a social responsibility for us to commit to social activities and to commit to welfare and also helping those who are in need. That's why we founded the foundation, and so far we have helped thousands of households with basic necessities in terms of their food supplies, in terms of medical supplies. We have conducted some programs for educational program as well as skill development programs, and we also helped a lot of youth to get free education. Amazing. Sponsored by our foundation, and a lot of other activities that we are still doing in the country. And we believe that even though this is usually the governments are Sure. liable to provide for the Sure. communities, but as corporation who have been highly invested here and there, and also have been able to make a lot of money and a lot of wealth over there, so we have to give back to the community.
No, I think that's amazing. I think it's not something we see often enough sometimes, especially in sort of the real estate industry, construction, etc. And I think it's great to see, especially that's where obviously your family and the business comes from. You built your wealth there, and all the different industries you're involved with. It's really nice to see. In terms of obviously the development side, where's next? Is it just the UAE and Dubai in particular you're looking at the moment, or are you looking to branch out into Europe, US, or other parts of the world?
As of now, we want to establish ourselves here in Dubai, and we want to expand our development wing here. We want to do multiple number of projects here, and once we are well established, then we would love to expand to the neighboring countries, to the markets which we would see to be more attractive for investors. Sure. So we always, before entering any market, we always do our research. We try to see which countries are very much interesting and very important for investors, and they want to actually invest, and it's it has high returns for the investors. So based on those research, based on the analysis that we will have, we would love to expand and to do projects outside of UAE.
No, I think it'll be very interesting. Rashed, I really appreciate you coming to talk to me today about this. I'm excited to see Palatium obviously go up. I think JVC is a very exciting area at the moment. There is so much going on. There's a lot of construction. There's a lot of developers going up, and it's really turning into almost like a hub more than anything in Dubai at the moment. Just the amount of transactions going on, the business of it. So very much excited to see that going up, and then seeing, when did you say the new launch or the new project will be released?
Our new project would be launched between February to April 2025.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing that come along as well, and seeing what you guys do with it. Yes. It'll be an exciting time.
It was also a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for inviting us.
Pleasure.
And we will have a long way ahead.
We will. We'll certainly obviously keep in touch. I look forward to coming and seeing it when it's all ready.
That will be great. Thank you very much.
If you're looking for more information or want to see more off-plan properties, dubizzle Property is the best place to look. You can look at Palatium Residences as one of them. It'll be an exciting time to see when that hands over. For now, that's all. Thank you very much.